All right, my friends, this one's huge. Maine's new property tax stabilization program. And we're going to watch a video from Keller Williams up there in Maine. Ooh, monster! My name's Governor Mills. I want your no, what do I want? I want your firearms. I want your firearms. I give Governor Mills props. She at least got a temporary resolve on the insanity of rich California liberals trying to put Maine lobstermen out of business. Actually, my man Josh, who's a lobsterman up in, I think he said Harpswell or something like that, he said they found a whale that was killed by a wind farm in New Jersey. I haven't looked into that yet, but that's freaking nuts. Hopefully that puts the kibosh on offshore windmills. So if we're trying to save whales, we don't want wind. All right, so I'm gonna play this video by this lady because this is fantastic. And I look, they can, I don't know whether when we play in other people's videos, what they do, I don't know. But hey, but she's got a dog. Look at that. She's got a dog, and so she's got to be all right. And if they want to, what do they call it, strike it or something? I don't know what they call it when you're using other people's content. I don't know. But if she wants to do, that's fine. I think that's stupid, but be that as it may. So let's listen to what she has to say. This is the Mark Gupp Real Estate Group. I don't know anything about Mark Gupp, but check it out.
Hey, it's Michaela Violette with the Mark Gupp Group at Keller Williams Realty, here to tell you about Maine's new property tax stabilization program.
Okay, good music. There's Michaela Violette, and I guess that's Portland. Got some jazzy music. Too long of an intro, Michaela. You don't need this too long. Hey, see that right there? That's where we used to, let's see. Where was the wharf? When I was growing up on Peaks Island, we'd take the boat into, I think I was on the other side of, see, these are all new. All right, now Finney wants to go outside. Finney heard that dog on her video or saw that dog or smelled the dog. He says, I want to go see if there's a dog out there. It's nice out here. Holy smokes. Sit out here. Man. Oh, man, it got warm all of a sudden. All right. Anyway, so when I was growing up in Peaks Island, I don't think that was a wharf we used to take. We used to drop, I don't know. Maybe I have to do some research on it. But let's keep listening. All right, so Michaela, comment for you and your team here. Too long of an intro. It doesn't do anything. Don't do that. Don't even have an intro like that. I mean, I know it's nice, but it's too long. All right, let's go. All right, so look at this. The intro is almost over a third of the entire video. That's too long.
Have you heard about Maine's new property tax stabilization program? If you're 65 years or older and have owned a home in Maine for at least 10 years, then you might qualify.
All right, so if you're 65 years or older and own a home in Maine for at least 10 years, then you might qualify for the property tax stabilization program. All right, keep going.
This program allows residents to freeze the property taxes on their current homestead by completing a one-page application each year. The deadline is...
All right, so you can freeze your property tax on your current homestead by completing a one-page application each year. Deadline December 1st.
It's December 1st, so if you need any help with submission or have any questions, please feel free to give me a call. More information below.
That's it. Yeah. All right, good. That's not good. I mean, that's a. All right, here we go. Is this the? Here's the tax form. Sweet. All right, cool. Let's look at that. So I emailed. I put this as this to further increase you pay into that, like what they do in Texas, or does it actually freeze? So what happens in Texas? And they might like this. Live there. What they do in Texas is that they defer it, but it's still growing. It's accumulating. And if any of you guys are Texas realtors and know differently, by all means, correct me. But I know it. Maybe it's a new. There's a couple of states. What they do is they say we're not gonna make you pay the increase in property tax. You can defer it, but it will come out of the sale of the home upon your demise or when you sell the home, if that makes sense, with interest. It's literally just deferring property taxes with interest, and that's that's not a bad thing if you got no money, but it's not the same as just saying we're gonna freeze it. And so what she said when I emailed or I commented, I said, Does this just defer the increase until the house changes ownership, or does it actually freeze the tax? And these guys said it freezes the tax amount for the current owner. Once it sells to a new person, they would need to apply for the same and would freeze them for them at that current rates. All right, so basically saying, I mean, so let's say your property tax is $10,000, $5,000, and you got it frozen at $5,000 until you sell it. Your property tax is still $5,000. The new guy would buy it, kind of like in California, the Prop 13, and they'd pay whatever the new property taxes are at that time, $10,000. But it doesn't sound like you're deferring the amount you did not pay. It just sounds like you're freezing it, which is pretty cool because I'm 52. If I move back to Maine, by the time I'm 55, 10 years, and I got to freeze my property tax. That's a big flipping deal, man. All right, so I want to look at, Pablo wants to say hello. Give me the screen time, Dad. I need some screen time too. All right, so let me see what. All right, so here's the form. Got to complete by December 1st. Name, whatever you, one of the 57. I'm a permanent resident of Maine. I'll be 65 as of April 1st of next year. I've owned a homestead in Maine, for at least 10 years. I guess that means you have to be domiciled. If your homestead has changed during the 10-year period, enter the full address. I have owned a home in Maine for at least 10 years. The 10-year period is not required to be consecutive. Wow. You have to be, I'm sure you got to be a permanent resident. There you go. Okay, so you are domiciled. So it doesn't require to be consecutive. So for folks who move back to Maine, let's say you bought a house, I don't know, freaking Portland in 1990, and you lived there till 2002. Then you moved to Georgia, and now you're moving back. It sounds like this would be applicable to you as long as you're over 65 years old. I don't see any income specifications. I receive a homestead property tax, Maine residency. I file a Maine resident income tax return, the address on my driver's license, so you're domiciled in Maine. I pay motor vehicle excise tax in the municipality and register to vote in the municipality. Dude, that's it. That's fantastic. Nothing on your income or nothing. Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, Michaela, you should have. She seems like a nice lady. I would just my advice would just read the thing so you can give a little bit more specifications, especially if you're a realtor. You're like, man, some of these people are trying to move back to Maine who might have lived in Maine previously. This could be a big time for them. Check the appropriate box related to each question. You must check all boxes to qualify for the tax stabilization. If the homestead has changed during the 10-year period, enter the full street or any prior homestead in the years in which it served as your homestead. The 10-year period does not have to be consecutive. You may be required to prove additional evidence of your document of ownership. If you don't check all the boxes, you do not qualify for the property tax. Dude, that's a big deal. It's not income based either. Wow. You gotta do it every year though. Well, good on these guys. Good on Janet Mills. Governor. Yeah, look at that. I receive a homestead property tax exemption on above. I mean, look at that. Maine residency. That's a big deal, man. All right, so I'll put a link to these folks' YouTube channel here. There's Michaela Violette or something like that. Let's see what else they got on this channel. Other videos. They got Pleasant Ave, South Portland, Maine. No one wants to live in South Portland. Hey, Mitchell Road, Cape Elizabeth. That's why I used to take the school bus. So I went to Cape Elizabeth High School for 6 months. So I got out of Portland High School in the first semester of my freshman year I was at Portland, and I went to Cape Elizabeth for the second semester. And I just remember standing out on Two Lights Road, waiting for the bus to come. And then I just remember going down Mitchell Road for it to drop us off to school, Cape Elizabeth High School. We didn't have a football team back then. I had a baseball team, and I actually enjoyed baseball. I was actually relatively good at it, so I made whatever team they had, junior, JV, something like that, freshman, I can't remember. Scarborough, Maine, there you go. Scarborough, Maine used to not be that big of a deal when I was growing up. It was Scarborough Marsh. They used to have the Scarborough Downs, the racetrack, and the Scarborough Marsh. And now it's all that in a bag of chips. I think Scarborough, Maine is like the second highest per capita income in Maine outside of Cape Elizabeth. Isn't that crazy? So we got Cape Elizabeth right there. Yeah, Cape Elizabeth, nice town. Southport. No one wants to live in South Portland, no. Let's see. Auburn, I don't even know where that is. I don't know where Delano Park is, Cape Elizabeth. I bet that's going for a pretty mint, though. Autumn Lane. Okay, but where is that? Elmwood. So these guys are all in Cape Commons. Condos, it looks like. Enchanted Lane in Westbrook. So when I was growing up, they used to have the this SD Warren, I think is what it's called, is they used to do paper products. So Westbrook, Maine was always known for its stink because of paper products. I think it was called SD Warren. It's kind of like when I lived in Dayton, Virginia, because we have the poultry plant, Cargill, just down the street. Dayton is known for its poultry stench. You know, it smells like Purina cat food, actually. Westbrook was the same. I don't know. I imagine it's probably not the same anymore. When I was growing up, Wiscasset was where the nuclear facility, I think it was Maine Yankee. And so Wiscasset was always looked down on because of nuclear facility. I don't want to say looked down on, but I just remember Wiscasset synonymous with nuclear. And of course, we're all propagandized that nuclear is going to kill us all. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. I remember I had a guy, Kevin was his name. He said, "Oh, you're going to be sent to," or when he'd make a joke at your expense or whatever, he said they're going to send you to Thomaston. I never knew what the hell Thomaston was, but memory serves, Thomaston was where they had the crazy people, some kind of crazy people place. I don't know where Thomaston is. I just know Wiscasset's nice. It's right on the water there, so having Maine Yankee on the water would make sense for the cooling of the radioactive, because we're all gonna die. But Thomaston, for some reason I think that's even on the water too, which is weird. Why would you put a crazy loon place in Thomaston? All right, so we got Spring Street. Okay, so let's take a look. How much does this guy cost? Lowell Street, South Portland. Man, that's a nice looking property. Let's take a look. We got a price on that guy. And this is from 6 months ago. They should show a price. If they don't, it's frustrating to me. That way, I mean, yeah, I don't know what the price is. I guess we can go to the MLS. Yeah, throw a price on there, guys. I don't know. I mean, I get it. They've done their own research and all that, but you don't want. I don't know. It just seems to me. I have no clue how much that place costs. It's a nice looking house. I don't. No one wants to live in Southport. I'm just being facetious myself. Of course, people want to live in Southport. Why you would want to, I don't know. But anyway, be that as it may, if you put a price on there, you can immediately get rid of the people who aren't interested because the price is too high or too low. I've always felt like just be upfront with your pricing. In my business in particular, maybe real estate's different. Let's take a look at this guy. It's good. Let's see the inside. Not showing the inside. That's always. Oh, I like that porch. Not showing why it's showing the inside, man. Come on. Ooh, look, I'm not trying to bash these guys. I'm sure they'll strike my channel because they think I'm bashing them. I'm literally not. Silver Street, Portland, Maine. What the hell is that? It's got to be in the West End, right? Cranbrook, Cape Elizabeth. Don't know where that is. Like I don't live in Cape. My man, Josh. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, Josh. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Clown. This video on the median income in Maine, and there's a bunch of towns I'd never heard of. And my man Josh, like, I'm starting to think you don't know Maine like you think you do. Look, dude, he said, I'm not surprised you being from Portland. All no hate, just saying. And he goes, I may be over criticizing you. I said, man, I'm not familiar with anything north of Augusta, if even that. I only went to Augusta once when my mom was married to a lawyer who had to go to Augusta for the Capitol on occasion. I went to him once. My dad took me to Waterville one time when I was in 7th grade to go to Howard Johnson Steakhouse. I never been even north of, I think it was Westbrook. Is that north? I don't know. I've never been, I don't know what's north of Portland. Anyway, anything north of Portland, I had never, South Portland, no, South Portland. Cape Elizabeth is south. I've never probably been north of Portland except for like twice in my life. Sebago Lake is west. So, and I told him, I said, man, we didn't have a car growing up, and I lived on an island. So the only time we would go anywhere is when we could borrow a car. So we went to the Freiburg Fair a couple times, which I freaking loved. That's west. We went to see the Red Sox once, twice maybe. And then when I was 5 years old, we went to Annapolis, Maryland, to see my uncle graduate from the Naval Academy. When I was 11, we went to California. So I don't think I've ever been north of Portland, except for the one time my dad took me to Waterville, and then we went to Augusta that one time with Henry, which is my mom's second husband, who since passed. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been north of. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know anything up there, man. I mean, Bangor. I didn't realize Bangor was that far north. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Bangor was like Boston to me. I was like completely foreign. Actually, I knew more about Boston. I knew about Bangor because it's so far north. I'm trying to think what like all these other places. I never like literally remember. It turns out Marshwood is in York, I think, County. But when I was on I wrestled as a freshman at Portland High School, and we went to some place to wrestle people. I forgot. It was some kind of tournament. I remember we had this big guy who's wrestling, who's a center on the basketball. I can't remember, but he was a big brute, and I'll never forget it. Like you could hear the people in the stands, like, "You Portland scumbags, you freaking," just all because Portland was just basically white trash, and it's funny. I was like, "What is wrong with it?" Like, because that's from Peaks Island, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird hearing these people just adamant against Portland. And so I went to Cape Elizabeth. I'll never forget sitting in some class, and some lady was like, "Oh, it's not like I'm from Portland. I do have clothes, or I do have more than one set of clothes, or something like that." And she must have forgotten that I had just been moved from Portland High School. And she looked over and be like, "Sorry." And I was like, "Dude, whatever." I was like, "I don't care." You know what I'm saying? I just remember her thinking like, "It's not like I'm from Portland. I got more than one set of clothes." I'll never forget that chick. I don't remember what she looks like. I just remember she's a rich snob. And she was like, "Oh, sorry." And then I remember when I was going to Cape Liz High School, and I was like, small, 120 pounds, 5'5", something like that. Some kid, some big tall kid, lanky kid came up to me and goes, "Oh, so you're from Portland, huh?" I said, "Who the hell are you? I know who you are." He goes, "Oh, you think you're so great?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on you." And he must have been a junior. I was like, I don't get it. What, what is going? It's like my second day at Cape Liz. I'm a freshman. I don't know anybody. I'm like 5'5", a buck 20. Weird. It's like these people have some animosity to people from Portland. I was like, I'm not even from Portland. I'm from Peaks Island. I don't claim Portland. Yeah, good times. All right. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We'll see you guys.